A mysterious death of a teenage boy in a wasteland. What are the victim's friends hiding? Don't miss out. The psychics will expose the deadly conspiracy. Welcome to Psychic Investigations, a project of true and astonishing stories. Here, people who call themselves clairvoyants investigate mysterious paranormal phenomena and tangled criminal cases. Tetiana Trifonova is asking the psychics for help. Her 17-year-old son Vlad was found hanged on a tree in a wasteland 3 kilometers from home.
My dear long-awaited son. It's impossible to put up with his death. I can't accept it.
Tetiana raised her son alone. She divorced her husband right after Vlad's birth.
Finding a job wasn't easy. Once I even worked in a dairy factory's ice cream line. It was minus 42 degrees there. It took me half a year to recover my health.
Her only son meant everything to Tetiana, and now the heartbroken woman has lost all sense in her life.
My life now is, I don't know why I wake up in the morning, go to work, and then come back in the evening. I simply see no sense in it.
After the terrible loss, Vlad's elderly grandmother even learned how to use the computer and the internet. Through social media, the distraught woman tried to find answers as to how and why the tragedy occurred. She communicated with her grandson's friends and those who knew him, but all in vain.
I opened those social media and registered in all of them I could find.
Moreover, Vlad visits his mother in her dreams every night, trying to tell her something. However, she doesn't understand what her son wants to convey.
I had a dream of him. He said he was ashamed that everyone knew, and that all the oaths were fake.
What causes even more pain to the mother is the thought that her son is considered a suicide.
The body of 17-year-old Vlad Trifonov was found in a noose on a tree 400 meters from an unfinished sewing factory building. According to the official version by the police, the cause of the boy's death is asphyxiation.
The forensic medical examination concluded that he hanged himself.
However, Vlad's friends and family are convinced he couldn't have committed suicide. After all, he had so many plans for life. Vlad dreamed of graduating from school and entering a university.
He studied at the School of Economics and Law. After it, he planned to enter the Academy of Personnel Management.
He was very cheerful and optimistic.
I think he was murdered.
What concerns Vlad's friends and family most of all are the bruises and scratches they saw on his face and hands when they brought him from the morgue.
The left side of his face was bandaged and his ear was black. He was hit on the ear. That's the impression I got.
To understand what really happened to the boy, his mother decided to seek help from psychic Larisa Hutsanu.
I'm eagerly waiting for the psychics to arrive and help me find the truth.
Psychic Hala Polishchuk will also be investigating this case.
I see an image of an alley. There are many people walking around, a crowd. There's a fight happening and someone is being beaten. Wait, they're beating the guy in the photo.
What is the clairvoyant talking about? Did Vlad get into some trouble and was really killed and then hanged?
For some reason, I feel the same thing. A lot of people his age, they're gathering somewhere. I hear the word death, death. And every time they talk about death, one of them always dies.
I have a feeling of some kind of construction site. You know, it's an uninhabited place and there are some concrete pillars. And it feels like each pillar is a gallows and on each gallows hangs a skeleton. And above all this, oh, it's so creepy. Flocks of crows are circling. There are many people. They stand and watch the road where a man with a noose around his neck is walking, and he's being led by this noose, by the rope. Where are they leading him? It feels like they're leading him straight to the gallows. It's like an execution, and the people are watching it.
But what kind of execution is this? Could the boy's death be the result of some gruesome ritual?
I had a dream. that I was walking down the street on a warm, pleasant day. And then the day started turning into some kind of darkness. Then I saw somebody walking towards me, and then another person. More and more of people appeared. They looked like some kind of army. All those people were dead. A huge army of the dead. And each of them wanted to tell me something.
Come in, please.
Vlad's mother, Tetiana, and grandmother, Svitlana, have been waiting for the psychics at home.
We really hope you can help us.
We'd like to see his room. He was talented. I hear music playing. From what I sense, he clearly had a musical ear.
He really did.
He attended music school for guitar since he was in the 5th grade. He was genuinely interested in making music.
And he drew so many different talents in one person.
He was energetic and a champion of justice.
He attended judo classes from the age of 6 and had plenty of awards from competitions. But he didn't like the fighting itself.
The boy had some ideas. Even the music. The music was of his creation.
He was a fan of rock music.
Recently, like most teenagers his age, Vlad became a fan of rock bands. The boy and his friends wanted to be like their idols, so he even changed his style of clothing and wore leather jackets, metal accessories.
We started listening to heavy music and wearing these things. He attached spikes to his leather jacket and even went to school like that in the summer.
It seemed like nothing should have happened that day. And then I get the feeling that someone called him.
His friend called, and then they went to the barber shop together.
After going to the barber shop, Vlad returned home, but then at 4 p.m. he left, supposedly to hang out with his friends. And after that, his family never saw him again.
And then the information stops abruptly.
He never came home.
But what really happened to Vlad? How did he end up with the noose around his neck in the wasteland?
As soon as I entered the room, I got an image of a boy with hair covering his face. When he learned about the death, he immediately came here, searching for a letter on the computer. He's scared. He's afraid.
But it's not the one who called him. It's another boy.
As it turned out, immediately after Vlad's death, a boy came to his relatives, introduced himself as his friend, and asked for permission to work on Vlad's computer, claiming there was some information he needed there. Could the boy be involved in Vlad's death and was trying to cover his tracks?
Yes, it's also his friend.
We had just heard the news and were stunned.
He came running and asked if he could check the computer.
But you don't know what he did with it.
He seemed to be deleting something.
He was anxious.
But what exactly did the boy who called himself Vlad's friend delete from Vlad's computer? And what was he afraid of? Could he really have been involved in the murder and was trying to secure an alibi?
Vlad is calling us somewhere. And here I don't understand. It's like somewhere in town. He wants us to go there.
The psychics and Vlad's family go outside.
I have a very unpleasant feeling. My ears are popping. My whole body hurts. I feel some kind of blows. I can't take it. Oh God, a strong blow to the stomach.
Larissa!
Oh my goodness.
I can't get up. I'm being pulled to the ground. Everything hurts so much. Oh, I can't.
All right. Come on. Inhale and exhale. Have a seat. Sit and breathe.
He's showing me pain. He also experienced humiliation. He was being pulled by his hair, some kind of fight.
But it's not the place where he was found. It's somewhere else. There are many people walking around.
And there's a church around. It's blue. And a fountain.
The park. They would gather there.
I saw that vision again. A young guy being led to execution with a rope around his neck. A crowd nearby, and voices. Shall we go there?
A gathering of people. Some groups are gathering. They're all young.
It turned out that the victim and his friends often gathered as a company in one of the city parks.
The park, a stage near the theater, an abandoned construction site, a 4-story building. That was our place, where we gathered to play the guitar. Nonconformists, rockers, punks.
He had a conflict with some guys. I saw a fight.
The clairvoyants came to the exact place where Vlad usually spent time with his friends.
They started picking on him like, "Why are you walking around like that?" And then a fight broke out.
Vlad and his friends could indeed have had a conflict with members of other subcultures. The town is known for having a number of different informal subcultures, including radical ones like skinheads and gopniks.
We often had conflicts with gopniks in the downtown. We would be sitting on a bench and they would come up and start picking on us.
The fight you're talking about, I feel it too. But I don't think it happened before the death.
It was on a different day.
Then, what was really the cause of the death?
I had another vision of the execution. I felt that a young girl was watching the horror unfold. It seems like there were some feelings between Vlad and that girl.
He had a girlfriend. Is she younger than he was?
Yes, 2 years younger.
He brought her flowers and always wanted to give her gifts. She knows many secrets about him.
Vlad usually met Katya in the park, where he often hung out with his friends.
Katya is all right. They really loved each other.
Vlad met Katya in the online game Defense of the Ancients. It's a multiplayer strategy game where each player registers online.
He's telling me now that they sat here, dreaming about going somewhere. He loved her very much.
As it turned out, after Vlad's death, the girl tried to take her own life. What's more, she tried to do it on the same tree where he was found hanged. To prevent another suicide attempt, her parents, who barely managed to save their daughter from the noose, cut down that tree. They sent Katya abroad for a while to help her recover and calm down.
She knows something. When he was dying, she knew something was going to happen.
But I don't see her at the spot where it happened. Wait, you have his phone?
Yes, his mobile.
She wanted to buy the phone.
Katya approached the boy's relatives to buy the phone. She offered a considerable amount, 3,000 hryvnias.
There's something on it.
I clearly understood that at that moment he was texting her. She was invisibly watching Vlad's death being prepared. Let's finally go to the site where the boy was found.
He wasn't dragged. He walked here on his own, and the people were watching. They stood watching. There's some kind of whispering among them.
Did somebody really witness Vlad die?
Please give me the phone. I'm tuning into his girlfriend. There's some kind of secret.
I saw that the girl was interested in some rituals related to death. And it dawned on me. Could Vlad's death be some kind of ritual murder?
I have a feeling of some kind of conspiracy. A conspiracy of Katya, Vlad, and his friend. I don't know. There are many people involved.
I can't stay here. This place doesn't give me peace. I hear words about death. It gives me chills. Oh, God.
The psychics are at the unfinished sewing factory in the wasteland where the tragedy occurred. But what happened here on the day of Vlad's death?
I sense the word death and hear murmurs and whispers.
Larissa,
Bring water, water, water.
Tetiana, hold her.
I see another girl, and she sends him a message on this phone. But it's another girl, not Katya.
Photos of some cut hands, some ropes. They're utterly strange photos.
And he texts, "Don't do it."
And the girl, she's far away.
She tried to commit suicide. Vlad stopped her through texting, and she called him my dad.
She texted him that he'd saved her.
It turned out that Vlad saved a girl named Natalia, whom he communicated with on social media, from death. But how did he end up with a noose around his neck?
I saw people watching his death, and they saw the photos. They saw the preparation for Vlad's death.
The phone was the thing that helped me understand that at that moment, a huge number of people were online, watching it like a TV show.
On the evening of Vlad's death, his mobile phone was used to access a social media page.
The police found his phone with him. It was used to access the internet and visit his page. Photos from the scene were added. Then by evening, the photos disappeared.
So that's what was erased from the Vlad's phone. But who exactly posted these photos online, doing it at the moment of his death, and why?
There could be several versions. One is that the killer sent them, possibly to report to someone about the job done. But it's also possible that the victim himself sent the message. But why?
A conversation. Someone drinks something, then they stop, and then it feels like someone falls asleep.
There were other boys, but they left. Only 2 or 3 of them stay with Vlad.
It turned out that Vlad had been to this place with friends before. That day, everyone except Vlad drank alcohol. No alcohol was found in his blood. After drinking too much, the teenagers fell asleep. This was a few hours before the tragedy.
He went that way.
The psychics and Vlad's relatives returned to the place where he was found hanged.
He was pressured from all sides, through the network, through the internet. I don't feel physical pressure, but I feel moral pressure, as if someone was forcing him. Do it! Like he was standing on the edge of a balcony and was told, "Come on, are you jumping?"
He came here saying, "Mommy, I love you very much. Forgive me, Mommy. Forgive me, Grandma."
I felt his hands, like he was hugging me.
Along with Vlad's spirit, many other souls came. And finally, I could clearly hear what they were saying. "We can't find peace. Don't let anyone else go down this road." One had a noose around his neck. Another had slit wrists. These were the spirits of those who committed suicide. All these spirits say, "We were deceived. It's a game. We got carried away."
They were playing out a scenario of how it could be. It's such a thrill to be on the edge of life and death. All these people lost their lives. They were participants in these virtual and real groups. They played with death.
At that moment, I realized that no one was directly responsible for Vlad's death, but at the same time, everyone was.
It's just that under the influence of the people around him, he showed weakness. And he's ashamed.
The boy was playing a deadly game. He was demonstrating to the public that he was going to commit suicide.
Lately, he started carrying a rope with him. Sometimes he said something like, "I want to see what happens after death."
As is known, teenagers at this age have particularly unstable psyches. Interest in death as a process increases significantly, and an undeveloped character pushes a teenager to categorical actions and rash decisions.
Receiving new photos of suicide preparation from Vlad, his friends were testing him, playing chicken, so to say. That's why after his death, everyone tried to hide their virtual participation in this process and delete the photos and chats. The only people who could have stopped all this horror were the relatives, but no one told them anything.
I finally know the truth behind my grandson's death. I'm a little better now.
Every night I pray for him. We are so grateful to the psychics.
Vlad's grandmother firmly decided to fight the problem of teenage suicide. She communicates with children on social media and knocks on the doors of administrative institutions to put an end to this. After all, such a disaster can happen to anyone. An investigation that will chill you to the bone. 3 young beauties died one after another in a small village. Don't miss out. The psychics will uncover the truth. Zakarpattia, Ukraine. Millions of tourists flock here every year to admire the beauty of the mountain slopes. But on October 26, 2017, amidst this incredible scenery, the mutilated body of a local teenage girl was found.
The body of 14-year-old Ivanka Savchuk was found in the river. Death was caused by internal organ injuries. The police investigators immediately opened a criminal case for intentional murder.
Her chest was crushed, and 4 teeth were knocked out. I don't know what or how it happened. No one knows anything.
The news of the schoolgirl's brutal murder quickly spread and shocked the locals. People don't understand who, or more importantly, why someone would kill the girl.
I can't bear the pain. I'd rather be lying there instead of my child.
She was very open, sincere, and kind.
She was very artistic. She sang and danced in the local ensemble.
Everyone in the village affectionately called Ivanka their little star. The young beauty dreamed of becoming a singer. However, this dream was never meant to come true.
It's so quiet in the house nowadays. No one laughs, no one dances. We miss her so much.
There wasn't a day she didn't say, "Mom, I love you." It's very hard.
The last person to see Ivanka alive was her elder sister, 28-year-old Marina. On the day of the tragedy, Ivanka came to visit her after school to look after her 2 little nieces.
My husband went to work abroad. She helped me around the house and babysat. My daughters loved her very much.
At around 8 in the evening, Marina asked her sister to go to the store to buy groceries. According to Marina, the store is about 400 meters from her home, so Ivanka was supposed to be back in no more than 20 minutes.
When she went, Dad came over and asked, "Where's the little one?" I said that she went to the store and would be back soon.
Several hours passed, but the girl never returned home. The family immediately raised the alarm.
I called her, but she kept rejecting my calls. When I dialed her the last time, her phone was off, and then we rushed to look for her.
Ivanka was nowhere near the store. Marina started calling all their relatives and friends, but all in vain. Ivanka seemed to have vanished into thin air. The people checked every corner of the village and questioned passers-by, and one of the villagers who lives near the place where Ivanka's body was later found shocked the family. She said she had heard cries for help a few hours earlier.
She was shouting, "Help! Somebody, help me, please!"
The police officers were surprised that the jeans Ivanka was wearing were completely torn.
Her pants were torn on her legs.
Perhaps the killer tried to rape the girl, which would explain why she had so many injuries and her jeans were torn.
The investigators worked through a number of different versions, but none was confirmed. The psychics are now the family's sole hope.
I beg them. I pray for them to come.
Psychics Olena Kurilova and Olga Kalinova embark on the investigation of the case.
I had a strange dream about Ivanka. She was asking to stop the oath that brings death. I don't understand what it means.
I also had a strange vision of a young man and a girl. He was holding her hand and she had a ring on her finger.
Was that Ivanka?
Yes, it was Ivanka. But the boy wasn't putting the ring on her finger. He was taking it off, and as soon as he removed the ring, she fell dead. When I lowered my head, I saw 2 more dead girls lying next to Ivanka, and they both looked a lot like her.
Could it probably be a serial killer?
The psychics head to the house where Ivanka lived. Her mother, sister, and concerned villagers are already waiting for them there.
Hello.
We are terribly sorry for your loss.
We would really like you to help us understand what happened.
Ivanka, who did this? The card of love. The murder has something to do with love.
The killer of your daughter is a man.
He's like a maniac. He won't stop. There will be more victims.
I wanted to understand where the girl's killer was. But for some reason, I couldn't get any information. This was the first time something like that happened to me. However, I felt that he had been stalking his victim. I sensed that before your sister's death, a man stalked both of you.
Yes, it's true.
Marina revealed that, a few weeks before Ivanka's death, a strange man indeed stalked them. He was quickly following them, and at one point, he even started running. However, she couldn't get a good look at his face.
He was tall and dressed in black. He ran after us, and we barely made it home.
Wait, I sense that your daughter has been haunting you after her death.
I've seen her. I opened my eyes at night and saw her standing in the mirror.
She keeps coming to tell you about her death. To understand what happened to her, we need to summon Ivanka's spirit. Her spirit's here. She's standing next to you, Marina.
I suddenly felt hot.
Mommy? I didn't want you to turn gray.
I went gray that night. When I saw my reflection in the morning, I didn't recognize myself.
Hold on. She's pointing that way. Was she found there?
Yes.
We needed to go that way. Olena, this is the place from my vision.
The bridge has some connection to your daughter's death.
The police don't think it's a murder. They think your daughter jumped off that bridge.
They said that was one version, but they don't know for sure.
According to the family, one of the investigation's theories is suicide, as the injuries Ivanka sustained indicate she fell from a height. However, no one in the village believes she was capable of committing suicide.
I knew her very well. I don't believe she could have killed herself.
She was a believer and attended the church.
The local priest doesn't believe the police's version either. He refused to acknowledge it was suicide, and he buried the girl according to all church canons.
We need to check the bridge. The killer threw the girl from there. I see Ivanka here with a guy. They're arguing about something.
Stepan.
He loved her madly.
He cared about her a lot. And he even confessed to me once that he was planning to marry her someday.
I feel strong jealousy from that boy. There was a situation here, on the bridge, in which he simply lost his mind. He was yelling at her and threatening her. The boy keeps repeating the same male name.
Yes, it's Rolf. Stepan was jealous of my sister.
It turned out that the boy named Rolf also goes to the same church. That's where he met Ivanka.
We met when we helped our priest wife move things. Then we became friends.
Stepan was among the first people who the police suspected of Ivanka's murder.
They kept him at the police station all day long, and then called him back the next day for another interrogation.
This is what I see, night, darkness. And I see Stepan standing over your daughter's body, and there's no one around. What is that supposed to mean?
He phoned me and said that Ivanka was lying dead in the water under the bridge.
Did he say he found her?
Yes.
We need to talk to him.
This is horrific. Could the girl's boyfriend have murdered her so brutally?
Stepan, we're here because we're investigating Ivanka's death. You two dated, right?
Yes.
At that moment, the boy's grandmother came out to the psychics. It turned out she loved Ivanka a lot and dreamed that one day she would become her grandson's wife.
I was so happy. I was happy. They were planning to marry and live together.
Stepan, I feel that not only the police, but also the people suspect you.
You killed her. Did the people say it?
They did. Because of it, I can't even go to the church.
The cards told me that Ivanka's killer is a knight by the overturned chariot, meaning a young man who's connected to some accident. If you're not afraid, draw one card. The card said that Stepan was angry at Ivanka, and he was indeed torn by jealousy. But he would have never dared to kill. Moreover, I saw that he was sitting at a large table with many people at the moment of Ivanka's death.
According to the neighbors, Stepan was at home between 9 and 11 in the evening. And according to the forensic examination results, Ivanka died at around 10 o'clock.
Stepan is absolutely innocent.
Then, who is the young man who murdered Ivanka, and what is the strange accident he's connected to?
At that moment, I had a vision of the killer peeking into windows and seeing two girls. One of them was Ivanka, and the other was her sister. It felt like he was waiting, studying his victim, and couldn't decide which sister to choose.
Yes, it happened.
2 weeks before the tragedy, Marina's husband went abroad, and Ivanka was living with her sister at that time to help with the household and the children. But one evening, they were frightened by a strange knock on the window.
Something knocked on the window twice, and the curtain started moving.
But when Marina ran outside, she saw no one there.
I'm still scared. I can't go outside after dark. I feel like someone is following me.
The card showed that the murderer was looking for a victim who resembled some deceased girl. But who was she, and who is the killer? I needed to work near Marina's house. There's a woman's spirit here.
I'm having a strange vision of you lying next to this woman's dead body.
She says, I didn't mean to scare you.
That's my deceased mother. I was 9 when she died.
It turned out that Marina is Natalia's adopted daughter. Her biological mother, Halina, died 19 years ago.
We were lying in bed together, me and Mom. And she had a sudden heart attack and died next to me in bed.
Her spirit is trying to help. She says the killer is like me. And she also says that we need to find another dead girl. She tells us to ask Yevhenia.
I am Yevhenia.
It turned out that Yevhenia is afraid she will die soon, and she has good reasons to say this.
People always told me that I looked a lot like Ivanka.
I feel that you see Ivanka in your dreams. She constantly warns about death. She says, you are next, and shows you a fresh grave.
Yes. She said it was for me, and now I am scared.
The killer seemed to choose victims who looked alike. And at that moment, I saw another dead girl. She had hanged herself.
Nadia.
Dear God, was she also your friend?
Yes, she was.
4 years ago, Ivanka and Yevhenia's friend was found hanged in her own home. Nadia did not leave a suicide note. For all the locals, her suicide remains a mystery to date.
It turned out that all 3 girls were from the same party, lived on the same street, and looked alike. And 2 of them died within a short period of time.
Nadia didn't hang herself for no reason. A man pushed her to death. Worst of all, his energy was identical to the energy of Ivanka's killer. Then I saw the spirit of another girl behind Yevhenia, the 3rd victim. She looked at me and said, He killed me too.
Yulia, my sister.
A death brought by the road. It's a car.
I see she wasn't alone in the car. However, only Yulia died.
Yes.
It turned out that, besides her two friends, Yevgenia also buried her elder sister. In 2016, Yulia and her boyfriend were going somewhere by car. The young man lost control on the slippery road, and the car went off the road.
But for some reason, she's holding her hands to her heart. She didn't die from the wreck itself, but from what she saw before her death.
Her heart burst.
It stopped.
She turned gray in a minute, right?
Yes. She turned gray.
According to Yulia's family, when her boyfriend looked at her after the crash, she was already dead. The ambulance confirmed she had a heart attack.
These deaths are all connected. There is someone who took all these girls to the other world. The cards say he killed them and is now hunting you because of his dead girlfriend. He kills those who look like her.
Your sister's spirit says we need to go to the bridge to learn the truth. Wait, she says we were on the wrong bridge. We need to look in another direction. Do you have another big bridge here?
Yes, we have, at the other end of the village.
Apart from the railway bridge, where the psychics have already been, the village also has a road bridge.
I see a beautiful young woman in a wedding dress with a slip knot around her neck. She hanged herself. She was the killer's fiancée. This girl took her own life. And you know her. She also looks very much like you.
Lesia. She also hanged herself. It was in either 2014 or 2015.
It turned out that Lesia lived on the same street as her deceased friends.
The killer is her boyfriend. Who did she date?
Ivan.
Hold on. He's indeed the murderer.
That's who's been killing the girls. We need to find him.
It's impossible. He's no longer alive.
Yes. Ivan crashed. He died in a car crash.
The young man sped and lost control. The car hit a pole, and he died on the spot. It happened right next to the road bridge, where the psychics are now.
There you have it, the night by the overturned chariot.
But wait! His death happened before all those girls died. How is that possible?
The cards say that the young man's death caused his fiancée's suicide.
It turned out that a year after Ivan died in the wreck, the girl he dated committed suicide.
On the day of Ivan's death, the following year, she sat at his grave for a long time, and then people said that Lesia hanged herself.
So he took the girls to the other world after his own death. Meaning Ivanka, Nadia, and Yulia were killed by his spirit.
A shocking revelation. The deaths of the three friends were caused not by a living man, but by his spirit. But why did he do all this?
When they were alive, Lesia and Ivan swore to each other that they would always be together. But this is impossible because his fiancée killed herself, and she is in another, parallel reality. She is tied to the place of her death, and he is searching for her but can't find her. So we needed to stop the oath.
I had a strange dream about Ivanka. She asked to stop the oath that brings death.
He's looking for a fiancée, you see.
Ivan's spirit took your friends to the other world because they looked like his fiancée and lived nearby. Ivanka was the recent victim of Ivan's spirit. She was on her way from the store, walking on the bridge, and suddenly saw him. He seemed to reach out to her. The girl got terribly scared and stepped back to the railing, but she slipped and fell. Ivan is suffering greatly because so many girls have died because of him. We need to stop this.
I need to carry out a ritual. I summoned the spirits of Ivan and his suicidal girlfriend and briefly united their souls. Through wax, I transferred their oath of eternal love to a lock and then locked and sealed it. Then I buried the key in the ground. And sank the lock in the water so that no one could ever open it again. Now this oath is no longer active, and the young man's spirit won't harm anyone.
Thank you.
I feel a lot better.
What an incredible story! If it impressed you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Many more amazing stories are coming up.